My name's Nathan Daly. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I have a 1977 280Z. This is a stock engine. Plans are to take it to make it turbo, so that the L28, which is in it, is the original motor. The next generation of this motor was a 2.8, but it was turbocharged, so it's just really changing manifolds and add a turbo to it. So that's the plan, to go turbo.
So that's what you've done for the fuel injection?
It's fuel injection right now.
Okay,
right.
These were carbureted, or did they go fuel injection at that time?
And the 280Z was fuel injected.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't sure about that.
It was all emissions thing. It's kind of, people like the 240s a lot more because they were carbureted. They're raw, they're lighter, but believe it or not, the fuel injection is a little bit more reliable.
Well, where'd you find this car?
I was looking for 240s or S30s really in general. I'd looked at Daytona, Houston, I'd looked all over the country, and on Craigslist one popped up in Baton Rouge. It said, gotta move, selling car quick, $1,000 takes it. So I paid $1,000 for it. Guy was in a bind, and I bought it. It was in pretty rough shape when I bought it. The driver's door had been, someone had backed into it and crushed it in, so I changed all that. Did, amateur body work to it, and that's it. And it's all stock really, but I have, the cool thing about this car, it's all original. R200 rear ends, original transmission, matching numbers, everything. And I have every receipt, I have every oil change for this car going back to 1977. The woman that owned it bought it in Miami, Florida. She moved to Hollywood, California, took the car with her. Then she moved back to Florida, and then the guy bought it from her.
Wow. So was it running when you got it?
It was. It was running rough. So I did, every day, normal tune-up stuff like that. But the cars run strong, and about the engine, I like the way the torquiness of it so much that I'm not ready to get rid of it. I'll probably run it until it blows and then do an LS, but I'm happy with it now.
So, from my experience, I've done a couple of cars, mostly older muscle cars. Have you found any common areas that you've seen that have trouble on the body where you have to end up with rust?
Oh yeah. Any S30 from 70 to 78, there's going to be rust on it. The reason I bought this one is because the floor plans were so good. There was literally no rust on them. But the hatch is terrible with rust. These rear rocker panels and the doors. But as you can see, this one, I don't have any rust on this one. My worst spot is my hatch, pretty much. Here, this kind of area, it'll rust, and you can see like right there, it's kind of deteriorated a little bit. But I drove over and looked at the car and crawled under it, and as soon as I crawled out from under it, I called my wife. I said, "Look, I gotta buy this car. I'm sorry." So.
What are a couple of little custom things that you've done to it?
The wheels, of course. I've changed all the emblems. Obviously Japan, this thing is a Fairlady Z. That wasn't released in America. But so the exhaust. This is like an original 70s modification of these cars. It's called the twice pipes, and so that's so it's a 4-to-2 to 1 back to 2 header.
What do you have planned for this car in the future as far as modification?
I want it to be functional, so I want to autocross it. I've taken it to a couple autocrosses, but I haven't driven it really hard. So roll cage, and probably a little bit more serious suspension, probably coilovers and stuff like that, and sway bars. But I'm gonna keep this engine until she blows.
Looks like did you add the fender mirrors and the headlights?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that.
Those are really cool touches that you really don't see too often.
Yeah, I really fell in love. What kind of drew me to this thing originally was like the original S30s, how they're done in Japan, and the 510s and all that whole kind of scene. And they keep them really pretty close to stock, other than their stance and stuff like that. Yeah.
So, how often do you drive?
Well, a couple times a month. I'll go to an autocross, or if they have a meet in Avondale at that track down there, I'll go down there, but not a lot.
So here's something that I used to do, and I like asking people who have older cars, would you daily it?
No, I wouldn't. No, because just the general public. I'm just worried about someone running into me, or 'cause it draws a little bit of attention, and I don't know. I just want to keep it for a long time.
What is your favorite thing about this car?
My favorite thing about this car, and I'm going to rip off a video that I saw on YouTube.
Please.
is the 3/4 view. So this view right here. I think that it takes from old Alfa Romeos. I think it takes from old Ferraris. So that's still the silhouette of that car. What we're looking at right now, to me, is beautiful. It's art. You know,
that arch,
the curves, this window right here. This whole, like, someone had to sit there and cut that out of clay and stare at it and debate it and argue about it, and I just think it's perfect. In the backstory too about this car, Nissan wasn't sure about America, so we're going to put this car out, but we're going to call it Datsun because we don't know what they're going to think about it. And I mean, this may be over the top, but this car might even be the reason we got into imports and start tuning imports and stuff. All the SCCA stuff.
BRE teams.
Yeah, right.
Oh, those are awesome.
Yeah. They just... You notice when they came over here and they had red, white, and blue.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you could find one that's not rusted out, the value of these cars is climbing, and even the original setup transmission and engine is a blast to drive, and especially on like an autocross or a track event, it'll hold its own.